The Supreme Court is clearing the decks today. So let's start with what's being called the birthright citizenship case. In kind of a stunning move, the Supreme Court decided on a 6-3 basis along ideological lines, limit universal injunctions issued by federal courts that blocked President Trump's executive order declaring that children born to parents who are in the United States illegally or on temporary visas are not eligible for U.S. citizenship. So what's important to know is that this ruling doesn't address whether birthright citizenship is constitutionally guaranteed or not. What the order says is that lower federal courts cannot issue nationwide injunctions blocking President Trump's executive orders. What that means is that in states that filed to block President Trump's executive order, the courts can issue an injunction saying it cannot take effect there while it works its way through the legal system all the way up to the Supreme Court, which would have to rule on the constitutionality of birthright citizenship. Even though I personally am a proponent of states' rights, I find this order very surprising because it takes a national issue and it makes that variable at the state level. So theoretically, what that could mean is that a child born to an illegal immigrant in California maybe can become a U.S. citizen automatically, whereas a child born to an illegal immigrant living in, say, Alabama would not be granted a right to U.S. citizenship. And that makes no sense. The Supreme Court's ruling says that Trump's birthright citizenship executive order cannot take effect for 30 days from today, the day that the Supreme Court ruled that federal courts can't issue nationwide injunctions. And the reason for that 30-day period is to give time for more states and more plaintiffs to file suit. So most likely, Trump's birthright citizenship order will get blocked in all 50 states. That seems like a ridiculous approach for an issue like this, which needs to be decided nationally to sort of force a flood of lawsuits in 50 states to decide the one issue. It doesn't seem to make sense, but using legal technicalities, this was the approach the Supreme Court decided to take. The immediate impact is actually nothing for 30 days, but if any states do not have lawsuits blocking the order within that 30-day period, then potentially children born to illegal immigrants in those states will not get the benefit of U.S. citizenship. This will break a tradition and a precedent that has stood since 1865 Dred Scott decision. It's been challenged many times. It's never been overturned. Is this the first time that this tradition will break? Only time will tell.